What is going on, Governor Chisgule here, and today we're going to review how we were slaying it in Stage 3 of the Eve of the Crusade, and we're going to go max purchase a bundle. All right, my friends, let's talk about Stage 3 of Eve of the Crusade. For those of you that have been following along in my other videos, cards will be up in the top. In Stage 1, Our Kingdom was in 7th place. It was not close. We were like way down low. And that is because our kingdom is just smaller than some of these other kingdoms. We have the single strongest alliance, but we only have really 3 main alliances over 3 billion power. So you would expect that when we got to the fort, the Crusader fort, Stage 3 portion, we'd lose a ton of rank. Because we're so top heavy, we actually shot to rank 1 at the end of Stage 2. We trained so many troops, it's unbelievable. We got a lot of T5 ready to tango. And you'd think that we would just plummet in rank in Stage 3, just because there's just not as many people in the kingdom. And yet, we're still in 2nd place. Remember, we were in 7th place for normal Marauders. Now we've only dropped down to 2nd, and we're on the 3rd day of this event. It's about to open up for KVK in just 7.5 hours. So how the heck did we do that? Let's talk all about how you completely slay this stage. Now, in this stage, when you rally a Marauder fort, everyone who participates in the victory or destruction of that fort will get 10,000 points for their alliance. Those 10,000 points are not for the destruction of the Marauder fort, but for every player who destroyed the Marauder fort. So I mentioned that distinction because you want to squeeze as many people as you possibly can into these rallies that are hitting Marauder forts. For that reason, our alliance broke out into 4 different groups spread geographically throughout the map. At the time that the event started, these groups were about even. That distribution has changed now, and that's totally fine. If I zoom way out, you can see here we've got folks ported down in the bottom left, toward the bottom right, toward the upper left, and we still have some folks that stayed in Zone 3. We then rallied Marauder forts like crazy. Now, I'm going to make the argument that our positioning is a little too close to the edge of the map here. We could have given ourselves a little more breathing room and had more geography, more territory to cover. Because, you know, there's nothing off the edge of the map that we can go rally. So if we'd been a little more central, I think that would have been slightly better. But this is where the Crusader forts started to spawn in, and so this is where we went originally, and we've been here the entire time. We only used 1 teleport to go here, and our last teleport will be used, well, our next teleport will be used to go back to Lost Kingdoms. That's going to be really exciting. So in this stage, we're rallying Crusader forts like crazy, and we tried to create in each of these groups 5 designated rally leaders who were constantly rallying. Sometimes there would be a 6th, because sometimes you could make it back into a rally that had lined up, even though you've got 5 marches. So you didn't want them all launching at the same time, but you got these 5 rally leaders, and you cap the number of players that are going into each rally. So at one point, it was me, Abe, Escape, Whitey Smash, Negan, and Bill launching rallies, and we had 80,000 people as the cap for the number of people you could put into a rally. This made it so that we could squeeze as many people as possible into the rallies, and whenever we saw that the rallies were getting full, we'd reduce the number of people that we allowed into those rallies. Now, the other thing that we did that I thought was pretty cool is we had a rotation of people in and out of the alliance. So if you went offline for a prolonged period of time, you would drop out of the alliance. And this was true primarily for our lower power players that might be less active than some of the bigger players who, like for instance, Long May He Reign and Honey Badger and others have basically been running forts for 72 hours without stopping. I don't know when they sleep. Honestly, I don't know when they sleep. So if I just look at the number of rallies we have going on now, this is probably the lowest it's been, and that's because we're getting toward the end of the event and it kind of doesn't matter anymore. We're not going to lose our 2nd place position. We're not going to take the 1st place position. So this is totally fine. So right now, Hello, I'm Kaylee, and Hell's Door, and Lord Vader, and Summer All Year are running these rallies on our side of the map. I can now participate in that because I see only 4 rally leaders, so I might actually smash this thing, which is like Got out of the way of a fire truck. We're going to smash this one that is right nearby. Let's hit this thing. Boom. Rally in. We see also Miss Ultra Instinct launched a rally. We're going to join that rally. And this is where having presets comes into play. You'd better use army presets here in order to do this really, really quickly. My recommendation is that you use 5 peacekeepers as primaries. We can show you what those would look like for us. We've got our rally pairing, which is Cao Cao and Minamoto. We're using a Cao Cao primary for the march speed, actually. We have the fastest march speed in the build in the game. We're just going places as fast as we can. We're not trying to be particularly efficient about the number of troops that we're saving, because these should be full rallies. We've got a Belisarius and Saladin march. Saladin's just there to offer some additional march speed to the cavalry. We've got Lohar and Attila. Again, he's giving a little bit of march speed. Boudica and Dragon Lancer. And last but not least, yes, you see it down at the bottom, Markswoman, MVP, and Khan. Khan's there for the 15% march speed. So the idea is you want to go to these things, rally them, and get back as fast as you can. And the last time I set a lot of these presets, it was at 100,000 troops. So we'll just drop that right into there, and we can go back. And one thing you can do just to make sure you're joining the right rallies instead of joining the rallies of people that are way too far away is you can see the distance in the upper left of people's profiles. So for instance, for Miss Ultra Instinct, you can see the upper left of her profile. She's 11 kilometers away. That's a rally I want to join. I don't want to join Honey Badger, who is 492 kilometers away. That's one way to know who's in your hive and who is not. So you've got your pairings all set up. You're launching these rallies. You're having a grand old time. What else can you do to optimize your play? I mentioned that people are getting swapped in and out of the alliance. That's not actually to bring in players from other alliances to our alliance. That is so that you can have a second character in the alliance that you own, a mini, and you can run Marauder Forts with your mini as well, or multiple minis if you have them. This way, I can go in now, and there's at least two rallies I know I want to join. So I can go into here, hit my castle. I can join Miss Ultra Instinct. Boom. There we go. I've got my preset set up. And I can go back in. I can join my own rally that I had launched. Chisgule. Boom. There we go. More troops going into that rally. And I did the same thing on my mini where I've got a bunch of troops set up here as pairings that have some extra march speed to get back to home faster so that I can join more rallies. This uses up a huge amount of action points. However, killing Marauder Forts is not so bad. You get a bunch of resources. You get a bunch of experience tomes that you can put on any commander. You do get some Books of the Covenant if that's the thing you're into. Some paltry amount of speed ups. But this event, action point for action point, gives you more points than Stage 1 would. I would make the argument that perhaps some of the Stage 1 rewards are a bit better, assuming you wanted to put experience onto the commanders that you're using running around battling barbarians. Now, I would make the argument that at this moment in time, again, the number of rallies we have going at this exact moment is not representative at all of what we had at peak, when there was at least, 20 rallies, because we had 4 locations, at any moment in time. And you could join them up really quickly, and it was actually quite efficient and fast. We were able to get a lot of points in this phase, and if I just jump back over to my main real quick, and by the way, this is such a great activity for a farming alt. If rallies are capped to, let's say, 100,000 T4 cavalry or less, it's easy to get that amount of cavalry so that you can just constantly be filling all these different rallies. This was really, I thought, a great way to burn action points on my mini, score points for the kingdom, and honestly, it was kind of fun. We spent a lot of time in Discord voice in our kingdom, which was a grand old time. So just jumping back over to our individual rank, we're currently in 13th. In our kingdom, we made it so that whatever your placement is in the Eve of the Crusade, you're going to get that rank in the next Mighty Governor. So the way things are looking, Gaius is going to get first in the next Mighty Governor. Sandals will get second. The Last Spartan is getting third. Mal is getting fourth. Honey Badger is getting fifth. Groggy is getting sixth. And I am in seventh. And if I'm not careful, Whitey Smash will pass me. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it. And he'll get 7th instead. I mean, I think that's a pretty cool way of rewarding people for participating in this event, given that the rewards are honestly not all that exciting. Pretty much everyone in the kingdom went big on this event rather than the other events that are nearby. And, well, that's a separate thing that we can talk about another time. So let's do the last thing that I sort of promised I would do here. We need to go in and spend down, make sure that we get the Call of the Ancients before this thing goes away. We've got 7 hours before that happens. So we're going to max purchase this bundle. For those of you that do not spend as much in Rise of Kingdoms, I just want to point out that we're on the verge of getting some sort of holiday bundle, literally like next week. So if you are limited in your budget, then you probably don't want to buy Call of Ancients right now. You're going to want to buy that holiday bundle, I would guess, instead. Let's put our spend blocker up on the wall, and we're going to start to purchase here. First, the $10 version of the Call of the Ancients. Bada boom. By the way, as we're going here, what do you think of the new look of Chisgule Gaming? The new, logo up top and the color over here and the intro at the start. All right, $10 bundle purchased. Here's what's in the $20 chest. We love these troop reserves. We used troop reserves like crazy in Stage 2 of the Eve of the Crusade to score just unbelievable numbers of points. Upgrading from T4 to T5 is really, really strong. And in an event where you actually have like 16 hours of training windows, because, 3 days for kingdom buffs, here's the contents of the $50 bundle, by the way. Spend blocker back up. We'll go get this. When you've got those 16 hours of training window, you have enough time to actually be upgrading T4 to T5. You don't have to be training sort of T5 outright at the top end. I know this is like a really big spender problem here. You only get so much time with that kingdom title, the Duke, that you really got to make the most of it. And you can't do these T4 to T5 upgrades. Anyways, enough about that. You can check out my video about Stage 2 if you want to see those details. Let's now max purchase Call of the Ancients 3 times. Spend blocker goes up, and here we go. Number 1, purchase is in. Number 2, purchase is in. Totally normal thing to do to spend this kind of money in a mobile game, am I right? Am I right? All right. And number 3, that purchase is in. We've now max purchased the Call of the Ancients. Bada boom. For half a second, I thought I was doing this on my mini, and I felt a little weird, but no, we're on our main. This is all fine. This is all fine. Hey, Richard, get out of here, man. You're not needed anymore. All right. So there you go. That's how we scored crazy points in Stage 1, Eve of the Crusade. We're going to pour it into the Lost Kingdom very, very soon. So like and subscribe if you're interested in KVK videos, because we've got so much of that craziness coming. And, by the way, if you want to see the stream where we reveal the new look and feel of Chisgule Gaming, that was yesterday. Card will be up in the top. I guess I just point above now. I moved myself to the other side of the screen here. Card will be up in the top. You can check that out. We've got new emojis for members. They're sweet. A whole bunch of people became members even after the stream ended, which was awesome. We're going to be live streaming a whole heck of a lot for the Lost Kingdom. You're not going to want to miss it, and you can pick up those sweet emojis if you become a channel member and rock those during our streams. All right. Enough out of me. We'll be back later with Ark of Osiris League play. Well, not League. Ark of Osiris play. We've got ours in 2 hours and 15 minutes from the time that I'm recording this. And that'll be really sweet. We're going to enter the Lost Kingdom. We're going to make videos about that. I mean, gosh darn it, we've got so much to talk about. Until next time, you have fun smashing the kingdom.